this show?
Oh, you can. Hey, what's
Oh,
going? Wait, are we live? We're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to you, me, and YTV. And for the first time ever on our show, we have PJ, Phil, and Snit with a special reunion. We're going to play our special intro, and we're coming back with the boys in just a second. Here's that special intro.
Phil's back and on the guitar, just like you all asked on the emails. He's doing the zone blue.
I was getting into a groove, so I couldn't stop. You gotta keep going.
Did you grow up in Canada? Were you alive in the 90s? Did you love YTV? Yeah, you did. Hey, everybody, welcome to you, me, and YTV, and we got all the boys here. Isn't this great? What's going on?
Phil's learning how to use his
how do you make this big? Is it get bigger?
It will get bigger.
You're on an iPad. I see. Okay.
You have an iPad?
Well, we got a whole bunch of stuff. How are you guys doing today?
You're
Doing
rich.
good. I mean, I'm bleeding, but other than that, I'm fine. You know.
Atul, who played Snit, everybody. This is Snit Unmasked. What's up, Atul? Tell everybody why you're bleeding.
Making burritos. Open a can. You know when you do the can opener, the lid is partly there, and you have to push it down, and then there goes a big piece of skin off my. You know.
And
I got 3 bandages, and I'm just a mess of blood now. It's really.
Everybody, it is such a pleasure to have you on the show today. Quite amazing, actually. Not a lot of people know, Atul, what you look like without being a Snit and all this time. But as I was doing research for the show and doing looking at all these clips and seeing the bromance that you guys actually had, you both told me funny stories about how you met. And I'm really curious to hear both sides of your stories. Atul, yours is fresh, but Phil, take me back to when you first knew that Snit was going to be a thing.
Oh, it was before Atul was even involved. It was like at the when the Grogs left, and I felt like I finally got rid of that annoying little brother. And then it's like your parents saying, "Oh, you're gonna get a new one." But the thing is, like, once I got to know Atul, we became like we had the best time. We're still friends.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
I saw him in Ottawa. That's
right.
And Atul, what is your recollection of you meeting? Because your story is you're better with the details.
Rich details. Well, he's a writer. Sorry, I spoke too much thought. Oh, sue me. I don't remember when we met, Atul. Like the first day, like when you walked in the room. Do you recall that? Like what?
I remember you were kind of hanging out with your friends, and I saw you from a distance, and
oh my God, this is like a romance.
Yes, it was, and I was trying to introduce myself. I was a little nervous. I've watched you on TV, and you know, and I was really excited to meet you. And you were like, yeah, great.
Yeah, I want a jerk.
Yeah, great.
So, Phil, at this point, you're just sick of hanging out with puppets, right? You're just kind of like, let's take it in a new direction, and then all of a sudden you show up and there's a huge purple TV with teeth.
You know, I was in my 20s. I wanted to be MTV. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
And also, I'm a kid. I'm 20. You don't know anything when you're 20.
No.
You don't know a thing. You know?
Okay.
So I was just a kid. I was immature, and you know, that was the motivation. I didn't want puppets anymore. I didn't want to exist in Believe Land.
Yeah, and we found a way around that. Like we didn't actually. The only thing that was make believe is the fact that there's a puppet there, but everything else, Phil made it all real, right? Like we would talk about my Toyota and drive.
Yeah, you know, I pushed for that from day one.
Yeah,
we couldn't go anywhere but there because I was relentless, right? I guess, right?
It was hilarious. You'd ask about my family and my mom and dad. It was hilarious. And you put me on the spot. It was in the beginning, though. I mean, we weren't great on the air at first. I mean, I think we were a little tense, but then once we got to be friends, it was like, then it was heaven. It was like the best job ever. I had such a great time laughing every day, and you just can't beat that.
Smoking outside. And
yeah, that's right. Back in the
there
day.
was a lot of that. That's all I did there. Anyway. But
right.
yeah, like, it was special. When people, and I see comments, and people always say, we never talk down to them. And well, that's because we didn't, I didn't want to pursue that. And you came along for the ride. And I felt bad because you were always trying to fight, I guess, me and what your directive was coming from who you're being produced by.
Oh, absolutely. There was the management had told me, hey, maybe you could, because I started off actually first doing the first few segments with Jen Beach, right? And so
How was that?
What's that?
How was that?
It was fine. I think I was a little bit because the management was saying we want you to be mean and tough and stuff and make it give her a hard time. And I mean, I went a little too far with it. And so they came back and Jen had complained and said, "Can you tone it down?" I said, "Oh, sure, yeah, I can turn it down." And then we sat down. I said again, "Hey, can we talk about what we're actually going to do in the segments and stuff and the topics?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm so glad you want to plan it out. Nobody ever wants to plan it out." And then the boss comes to me and goes, "Can you do that with Phil? Get him to plan out the segments now. Maybe you can, since you got Jen to do it, maybe you can get Phil to do it." I thought, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, I'll talk. And I went up to you, "Hey, Phil, I was wondering if we could sit down and have a meeting and maybe go over the content of the segments and we could time out with this, make a bit of a script." And you're like,
I'm like, no, I want to talk about how I got pulled over and I didn't have proper insurance.
I'm glad you guys are talking about this wall breaking stuff. I found this clip that is recently been on the internet, and I believe it's I'll get the right YouTube name, but it came out of nowhere and I had never seen this, and it's where you playing guitar comes from. It's the same segment, and it's like my favorite segment of all time because it literally everything you guys are saying, I've never seen it shown as much as this clip. I gotta show you guys this clip right now.
Okay.
Okay, so here it goes. Dear Phil and Snit, I've written to the Zone about 5 times.
Hey.
And I think the Zone is cool. But they're actually, wait, hold on. See that guy leaving? Okay, he just left. Can I tell you before we read the mail, can I tell a real funny story? He's on his way, I'm in his office, he's on his way out. All right? And he wants to go, he wants to get something done. Gets his coat, the phone rings.
Yeah.
And he picks up the phone and he says, oh, I'll give it any name, but he says, and do you ever have one of those people is the last person you want to talk to because they'll talk to you for hours, right? Just as he's leaving, eh? And it's like this. And we know the guy, myself and this other guy in the room, we know the person that called. We know that this person, his name, if we're going to hear it, he's going to talk forever, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, hi, Vadim. So we just started wailing just because we knew he was on his way out and this guy's going to have him on the phone forever. Anyway, it's fun.
It's just that type of typical stuff that you see in YTV where it's like if there's a man behind the curtain, Phil, it seemed like you really wanted to always show there was a man behind the curtain. And
I only figure out how to turn the sound on right at the last line. What happened?
Okay. Someone was leaving and you pointed to someone and you're like, see that person there? We were in his office and someone calls and we know they're going to talk forever. And you said them by name, and then Atul, you kind of made some sound effects being like, well, you're not supposed to say names and stuff like that. And I just thought that was absolutely awesome. And it just goes to show how loose it was back then, like the Wild West. It's amazing. Everything is so constrained right now. And
you could never do what we did. You couldn't even, they tried to do it in the US, they couldn't do it. They just couldn't because there are too many constraints. There's great talent in LA, and we had a really great show down in Fox. But the problem is that they're so afraid of being sued that like there's no way Phil and I could do what we do there as what we did here.
Also, the other thing is like when we did that, once we did it, it was gone. Now we know it wasn't. You know, right? The Tool, we were coming up with stuff every day, like tons of like we had. Like, what are we gonna talk every day?
Exactly. Remember we had
If someone wrote that, who would write that stuff?
we had that list of ideas. Remember, we had the think tank. We put it on the tank, and we put it with all the list of ideas. We would pick one, and I found that. I actually got that original list from 25 years ago. I found it. It's sitting in that file somewhere.
Yeah, remember we sat down and we actually worked, and we came up with stuff like celebrity spin and oh my god, crazy crafts.
Really crummy crafts. Yeah,
crummy crafts.
We wanted to call it crappy crafts, and then they stopped us. They wouldn't let us say crappy.
God, imagine if we applied ourselves. Imagine the stuff we could have come up with.
No, yeah,
already.
Even I remember another producer in one of the other shows was like, he would, before we became friends later, but he'd walk by and he'd see you and me sitting with our feet up and like half asleep waiting for our next segment, and that was that was life.
Like this. I'm gonna go for another cigarette.
Yeah, that's it. We're always just lounging or hanging around in Phil's porch listening to Rage Against the Machine, or you know.
And you go by my desk, and it's just filled with toys.
That's it.
And like pictures of my car.
Oh, guys, that's amazing. And like we said, when we watch that clip, that really comes in. You really see that you guys were really loose and fun, and it just seems like, and very not uptight, but having that kind of bravery to go online. I was going to say online on the air like that, but I get it, because since the quarantine happened, I've done a show almost every week for like 4 months. And I can't remember every episode I did. And that's only a few episodes. You guys were live 5 days a week. There's no way you will remember every single bit you do. And to come up with a bit every single day, that is hard. That is amazing that you guys could do that.
I don't know if it was hard. Was it hard at all? No, we were just bored. Like
it was just pure fun every day. It was just it was, and we drove everybody crazy with we were so cavalier about it. That whole thing of Ryan, you mentioned it earlier on, like the master control guy said, okay, you know, we're outside somewhere. And he goes, you got 10 seconds. Sometimes we actually drove places and tried to get back in time for a segment. And literally it's 5, 4, and it's an empty set. No one, 3, 2, and we just run into place and then bang, 1, and there we are. We're on the air across the whole country. You know, it's because Phil wanted me to. I remember that Italian sandwich shop you really wanted me to try. We went up. It was still on the west end of Toronto.
California sandwiches.
Yes. It was really good. You said you got to try the sandwich, and we did, and it was worth it. But oh my God, we all, you know.
Or how many times did we run in and you look on the monitor and there's already the roll in, and you're like, oh. There's like a bird eating some bird seed. You see it on. You're running in, and you're like.
It's filled with the ring, and then
oh my God.
And then it opens up, and then you're just walking. You're just running in. You go, we're back on the zone. You got your mic in.
So speaking of,
it wasn't, you know, like Ryan, it wasn't hard. Would you say it was like Tool? We were bored.
I wouldn't say I was bored. I think I had a really good time, but it was not. No, it was not hard. It was just a great fun. We got into a groove. It was a groove that lasted 4 years. It was for me 4 years, but for you a lot longer. But
honestly, that's the hard part. The hard part is to not be, oh, look at this television. Oh, you know, it's like, relax. Like, come on. Like, we make a mistake, we move on. I have 8 more years of this. Relax. It's gone forever. We'll never see it again.
That's right. And yeah, most of the stuff is in some garbage somewhere. Even Snit. God knows where the actual Snit is. It's people told me that it was still around for a bit, but oh my goodness, I'm dripping blood everywhere. Holy shit. I'll be right back.
Okay, bud. All right, Phil. All right, Phil. So until he gets back, yeah. So we got to go through some of these comments and questions, Phil, because people, well, clearly, Phil, my man, right there. We have so many people saying hi. We got Bernadette. Well, we got Bernadette here. She is a serious supporter of this channel and throughout its ups and downs. And we have Christopher Robin. Cheers from Calgary.
Oh, Alberta.
Greetings, Phil and Snit. Watching from BC. Dude, watching from BC, we're stretching across Canada here.
Happy birthday, Gord.
Kodiak Panda.
Happy birthday, Kodiak Panda.
Watching from London, Ontario.
Happy birthday, Jake. Amalfi 5000. Hey, happy birthday. Even if it's not your birthday.
Hey, Phil, until Atul gets back, who was a favorite guest you had when you were hosting the Zone in the 90s? Who's a favorite guest you had?
Favorite? I don't even know if I can remember them all.
Here, who's a guest you can remember?
Cool guests that I was like, James Ehoff from Smashing Pumpkins came in.
Okay.
But I couldn't get Smashing Pumpkins to come in, but when they were promoting their solo album, it was like, yeah, all right, yeah, come on in. So that was kind of cool. And one of the dudes from Pearl Jam, he came in with his like side band.
Here's
definitely big, huge people that like one of my first interviews was like Faye Dunaway.
Here's an interesting one. It says, hello and super hugs. That scene from the original Jumanji where Robin Williams rush hugs Bradley Pierce before yelling, now he's home, is sort of how I feel seeing you. Well, that's lovely.
Happy birthday, Antiseptic.
You're just making up for all the birthdays, of all the years.
PMT slots and stuff. Hey, happy birthday.
Okay, well, until Atul gets back because of mortal injuries, here's a great one for you. Bring back the anti-gravity room for gamers. Phil, tell everybody about the amazingness that is the anti-gravity room and how it came about, because that is a great topic that I think only you really can talk about.
That was funny. That came to me from YTV. It's weird. They started like making more and more of their own shows. And and they needed there was this kid in New York, Nick Scular, and he had a show on cable, New York cable. And it was on comic books. And there was, if you remember the 90s, there was no media on comic books that was sort of magazine based unless it was a magazine. And he hooked up with this guy, Josh Braun, I think, discovered this kid. Now, Josh Braun now is a huge documentary filmmaker, like a big famous one. And he was with Fremantle. Fremantle at the time was just a distribution company, but they owned Baywatch.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a ton of cash. So they struck up a deal with USA Network to deliver this comic book show, and they needed a co-producer. And for whatever reason, they approached YTV, and we did it. It was like this deal that got made. And next thing you know, I'm one of the 3 hosts on this, because I could, the Zone really only took my time between 3:30 and 6. So, I mean, if I could shoot, something else. So they used my time that way, and that's when that started. And that was like a real weird, I mean, who would make a show on comic books in the 90s? Really, I would think it's the only archival footage of popular 90s comic book culture. Like, where else would you go except to get some 90s Wizards magazines? Prisoners of Gravity, but this was on this crazy big scale, that I'd never dealt with. And I remember USA Network, which owns Sci-Fi Channel, which that show was on in the States. They flew me out to New York just to go to a party, just to go to the USA Network launch party. And I remember John McEnroe sitting in front of me at this. I stayed at Essex House. It was crazy. It was crazy. Anyways, I'm just
amazing, man.
That's how that started. So they
had a great show, by the way. I love that show.
LA host and thing host. Tool's back.
Hey.
Yeah. How's the finger, dude?
Well, I just had to get extra paper towels. It's like it's just grit. I've got blood all over my office. It's wonderful.
No
Well,
Band-Aids?
we
What?
appreciate you
I
going
do.
through that.
I got 3 Band-Aids. It just bled right through the Band-Aids. They're all. It's the rivers are running red now.
You need stitches, dude?
I might. We'll find out.
Right.
Well, before the
That's how much
stitch,
you love
before I told you the show is deadly.
Talk
You
to
know,
a
it's
Tool.
fandom
I'm
is.
gonna refill.
All right,
All right,
great.
okay.
I like
It's
this.
just
What
water.
are you drinking, by the way, Phil? What are you drinking?
It's like you'll see it. It'll be like this high, but it's just water and ice cubes.
It looked a little whiskey colored to me, but hey.
All right, Atul. So, all these people, they never really saw your face, but I have that clip that, thanks to you, is on the internet. And for what I understand, there's some greasy history to, this was not supposed to be ever on the internet, but it got on there. And it's a very cool thing about how Snit was operated. Let's take a look at that clip right now and tell me a little bit about how it is to be Snit and what it takes to operate him.
Welcome back. We're here. We got some emails because Halloween's coming. It's tomorrow.
That's right. Is it ever?
We're excited.
That's right. What are you gonna dress up as, Phil?
Well, there's a Spider-Man, but it was green.
Ah!
Remember that? And then Paul pointed out.
See, that's so cool. And like when I was a kid, it's not that I thought Snit was real. Oh, pardon me a little, part of me who, thought his teddy bears were like having picnics and trying to kill him when I slept. Of course, I thought he was a little bit real, but it was so amazing when I saw that. It was like seeing literally what my generation's impression of what it would have been like for Dorothy to pull the curtain back and see the Wizard of Oz for the first time. Now, tell me a little bit about about this tape reaching the internet, kind of like, that Deadpool test shot that got on the internet. What did they say to you? Like, make sure no one ever knows about who does Snit and why.
Yeah, it was in my contract that no one can ever, that I can't ever show. I can't reveal how Snit is done, how it's operated. I can't show that it's me. All these things, that it must remain anonymous. All these things were in my contract. And Phil would always talk about, before he would say to the camera guy, oftentimes he goes, okay, we're going to do the crossover. He called it the crossover. Nowadays, crossover means something else, but he meant cross over to the other side of the studio where you see me. He said, remember that, Phil? You want to danger some of our favorite camera people to just someday turn that camera and maybe it'll be worth getting fired over and we just show who's behind the curtain. Well, on my last
we were
day,
bored. We were bored.
we were bored.
What else can we do? How else can we get like? What else could we do?
But it's true. The tendency, especially with Phil, was always to just push everything right to the line. And whenever a new boss would take over YTV, I think one of the things he said to me, he goes, I don't know, you and Phil are really dancing on the edge all the time, aren't you? Dancing on the edge. I like that.
Who said that?
I don't know if I would. Do you want Ian?
Oh, Ian.
Yeah, he was a brilliant. Yeah,
we just do whatever we wanted.
He did, and he encouraged us.
Was our guy.
Yeah, he was really cool.
Oh my God, he let us, because the numbers were the numbers. Don't question it. He was that guy. Like, leave it alone. Like,
not broken. Yeah, why fix it? 2 million people broken every day.
It's doing great. Don't touch it.
Second, the second highest cable ratings in Canadian history. The Zone.
Wow. Okay, let's just go through that again, because it's like, here's the thing. I find Canada kind of doesn't celebrate our own until whoever we're celebrating makes it in the US as some sort of badge of pride. But as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to Canadian content, all these shows that I saw on YTV were almost homemade in a sense. Like, all the voice actors from Sailor Moon lived in Toronto. All the voice actors for Samurai Pizza Cats were right here in Montreal. But I wouldn't know that because I also was under this impression that if it's great, it must be American. But all this amazing stuff, including Beast Wars, that was recorded, or Beasties, that was recorded in Vancouver. And it's just doing this project all these years, the veil has been pulled out from my eyes, and I'm finally seeing like all this stuff I've loved my whole life has been a 5-hour distance, and I don't need a passport to see it. It's amazing.
Yeah, we. You could probably say that a lot of stuff you're watching now. I mean, so much stuff is shot here and used Canadian actors, Canadian directors, Canadian talent, and we think it's all American shows. You know, and YTV was amazing in that. And before I actually worked at YTV, I met a lot of people from YTV, and they would say things like their success is actually using local producers, and they've done very well using Canadian producers and Canadian talent. And it's true. That's what built YTV was interesting. They also acquired great shows. YTV is in a great position where they didn't have to say we're just having Fox shows or just having Nickelodeon shows. They bought from everybody. But yeah, so many of the hits, and you can see that today. There's, people, Canadian TV is cheap. It's not, part of it's cheap, but a lot of it is like, we can do premium content up here. And,
Absolutely.
And Phil was like, I mean, you were like one of the most, probably the most well-known face. Walking down the street with this guy, like just hanging out with him. It's Phil, everybody, everywhere we went, it was like, yeah, that kind of thing. And then Phil would always say, "This is Snit," like anyone cares. Like no one. This is Snit over here. And I go, Phil, you're the best. I was happy to be his sidekick. I think being a sidekick and being a sidekick to you was really fun. So
I took you along. Get on the bus. I'm driving.
Yeah, here's a great question from Adam McLaren. Did you have any crazy clauses in your soundtrack, in your contract?
Oh man, I never read that thing.
Yeah, I was expecting that answer. He has no idea what's in that contract. You just want to know what he's making.
It was always like one page more too. Every year, it was like my first contract was like this thick. It was like 2 pages. It was like
don't swear
letter of agreement, and then just
I don't even know why they bothered. They can't. No one can control you. You're not controllable.
Oh, you know what though? Like the only thing about YTV was I couldn't do other things.
Oh yeah,
right. Like I couldn't audition for some movie or something, So you were kind of stuck. But I mean, I can't complain because I did a million things at that place.
You did, and you met people in the world. I mean, you met Bill Gates. You met, God. I mean, the list is crazy. All the people that you actually had, and you had good interview skills. I mean, you didn't go to journalism school.
Wait, hold that thought. Keep going.
His interviews were awesome. So. Yeah.
All right. Well, Atul, how about we ask you this one as we're waiting for Phil to come back? Chris Drysdale says, would you ever go back to YTV if they asked you both to come back?
You mean as Phil and Snit again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would. But it would be. Oh, look at that! There he is with Bill Gates himself.
I guess if you guys return now, though,
right here, you know what he said?
No. He
said, "Phil, have you considered vaccinating yourself?"
I was waiting for that.
I'm really glad that we're talking about this and how in a way, in my professional opinion, that is not a professional opinion. It would be very hard to put Baby in a corner, you could say, if I was to quote Dirty Dancing, to put Philly in a corner. But you guys, and it's on YouTube. You guys did this great thing called Public Access TV. I want to play a clip of it, and I want you to explain to everybody what this is. All right, so here's the clip.
We got the signal.
Whoa! Give me one of those effects. I love them. Hit me. That's what she said. Get it? Welcome to PATV. Every week I think the theme of the show changes. Last week it was a different outfit. First of all, I was wearing it. Doesn't.
Are you finding it cold in here, Phil?
No, I'm just.
You have your collars up as if there's an unseen wind in the studio.
No, I put my jacket on to try and hide last week's wardrobe. We shoot these babies back to back, baby.
Oh, Phil, you gave it all away.
I give it away because I don't want to be a liar on television. This is how we do things. This is television. This is the reality. That's why we don't talk about current events.
That's why I'm a talking TV, for real.
Yep, you're real. You're not some dude working a puppet,
That's right.
looking at the screen too much and playing with his electronic toys.
Absolutely not.
Not paying attention to me and connecting with the host of the show, the real, live, true superstar.
Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-doo.
Superstar.
Very
And it's really great. I love like what.
That was our swan song. That was.
No, it wasn't. I
That
really,
was-
really like that
That
because
was
if you
the
guys had
end.
if you guys had a channel, a YouTube
Right
channel,
before
really
you jumped
where
out of the window. Oh, shit.
where you guys could do exactly and say what you want, I would totally watch that because it's the way you two talk to each other. I told you, you're the consummate professional that always wants to keep it in character. And Phil, you are worse than Deadpool when it comes to breaking that fourth wall. You strapped dynamite to that wall. That wall never had a chance before being broken.
Like as if I called Atul up, I said, Atul, will you help me write our suicide notes? Will you co-write this suicide note with me?
And we did it in the form of video for a few months.
That was the beginning. That was the first TikTok where I could hear just the clock ticking away on us.
Atul, we've gone through this on the show before, but you can bring this up. I know Snit at one point leaves because left the show because you went to Los Angeles to pursue a writing career, be a producer on Fox Kids. And has anyone else ever done Snit? I know this is kind of not a sore subject, but definitely there was some sort of Snitism after you vacated.
Yeah, I think that after I'd left, the group of people they set up a thing called the Snit Station. They wanted to give Snit its own show on the weekend, and it was different though. It was and it was voiced by a different person, and it was a different puppet altogether. It was sort of metal and it talked around like this, and it wasn't the loose and groovy, let's have a conversation, just it wasn't the hanging out thing. It was just they were trying to be cute and make it a robot. In character wise, it wasn't anything like Snit. It was something else. You just called it.
Who was it?
Oh, they had a couple of actors. Actually, the first
Actors?
they got well, they got a couple of comedians. Yeah, but they didn't. And they were just making the Snit sounds and stuff. I met one of them actually, and let's see. There was two of them. One of them, I'm forgetting the name right now, but he's actually a really good comedian. But he was saying that he was really intimidated when he went up, and everybody was at YTV saying, "Well, you got big shoes to fill, big shoes to fill," and it's like, wow. If I had known, I would have told him, like, you're not filling any shoes. You're making. Think of this as a new character, because whatever it is that you're doing isn't the Snit that the fan knows about. It's a different one.
Yeah, technically,
it was never a character. It was you, dude. Like,
yeah, that's it. It was me, and that was part of the creation. And again, remember we talked about the beginning of how Phil didn't want Puppet Land. It's because he wanted to talk to somebody. He said, and that's what he told me once we really found the groove. He goes, "It's just you don't want to talk. This is what I like. I like talking to you." Right? Okay, now let's just do that.
Keep trying. You'd be like, I just got back from the satellite. Like, you trying to fulfill your duty.
Yeah, I talk like that. I talk like this, didn't I?
Yeah, like, why? I flew in from space.
Well, I
well, I have a clip here of
Come
when
on,
Snit.
man. You drive a Toyota.
putting a Datsun mirror on there.
I have a clip here of Snit saying bye, and Phil, I want to know what was going through your mind because your buddy is leaving. But let's take a clip of this, and it's a great clip. You and Darren are dressed as Men in Black, and I'm not sure if this is on YouTube yet. Atul, you gave me this clip, so
yeah. I think it's somewhere on YouTube. I thought it was. But
okay, yeah. If it's on YouTube, that's great. I couldn't re-find it, so I went into our interview, and I'm like, yeah, who's got all the gold? It's me.
Upload it anytime. Just put it on your YouTube. It's fine by me if you got it.
For sure. All right, here's a clip.
Welcome back to the zone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you
buddy.
sense the mood in here?
It's scary, sad
It's
mood.
scary and maybe a little sad, but
little
good.
sad.
Because space is a good place to go, Phil.
You know what? I'm gonna miss you, Snit.
I'm gonna miss you, buddy.
Phil. You know, I think you're one of the finest people I've ever worked with. You too, Darren.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for not making me feel like the third wheel. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Don't make it
I
any
learned a
worse.
lot from you, Phil, over the years. You too, Darren.
And by the way, it's fifth wheel. Use the force, will you?
Use the force, Luke.
Just use the force sometime.
Well,
Okay. So are we getting ready for the launch?
we are. What's going to happen is that when I go into space, I'm probably going to end up losing this hat and the retro rockets because, you know,
The
it's
hat?
like you lose first stage, second stage, and then I just float from there and I use this propeller to guide me into space.
Yes, you will. Okay,
So let's start the launch.
T minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Goodbye, Snit.
6, 5, 4. I've lost more than a piece of garbage. I've lost a.
I lost a friend. You lost more than a piece of garbage. I lost a friend.
Yeah.
Hey,
Phil, your sound is a little weird there, buddy.
weird. I don't know what to do here. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, maybe it's a broadband.
I can't hear you guys. Is that
Okay.
better?
That's a
can
little
hear
better. We can hear you now. Okay, the terribleness of sound has gone away. Everybody, this is a live show, just like YTV back in the day. You know what? Atul, I know you were going on to do some amazing things in Los Angeles, and including producing some amazing content for Fox Kids. And if there was ever a similarity between Fox Kids and YTV, YTV did it first, and you brought the goods over to the States. So therefore, hey, everybody who's just like Canada's America's Diet Coke, guess what? Other way around. You benefit off our imports. Like beer, it's stronger. Okay. Tell me a little bit about some of your experiences of working with Fox Kids, trying to recreate that YTV magic, if you will.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it was not just me. It was myself, Kim Saltarsky, who was the producer of the Breakfast Zone, and a buddy of mine, Greg. Who,
too?
yeah, he did. He was. We don't you remember? You even came down and visited, and you even joked about our picture. And remember, there was a hilarious joke. I have to show the picture for you to know what I'm talking about. But there's a couple of jokes you've told in your life that has made me laugh for years. Like every time I think of it, and that was one of them. It was. You know, we had that picture of the three of us with where the membranes. We all had big heads, right?
Right.
And then you said, "Hey, Atul and Greg made their heads big. Kim, why didn't you play along?"
I remember that.
It was.
Yeah, and I would come up with that crap like on the spot.
That's it.
Amazing.
You had a couple of jokes that would just like floor me like for years. And that was one of them. But anyway, it was doing that YTV match. I tried to get Phil down there. Actually, I fought like hell.
Did?
I did. I kept showing you demos, and I kept wanting to get you down there. And
He's too ethnic.
yeah, America. You don't look. And I did run into that stuff, by the way. I tried to on one of the shows. I tried to hire 2 African American hosts, and they said, can't do it. And I said, why? And it's because the Midwest won't go for it. They'll think it's a black show, and no one will watch it. And I go,
the 90s.
so funny, you know. It's like, but they were the best. They're the best audition. The 2 of them, right? They were the best, and they said no. So
That was during the Clinton years.
Yes, it was the Clinton years.
Weird.
Yeah, that doesn't. You know what? It doesn't matter who.
The beginning of the end for the Dems.
Yeah, it's always.
I'm so sorry. I guess you don't want to say what show and all that kind of stuff because it's but hey, you know what? It's all like seriously, serious props for just recognizing like talent. And I think yeah. And Phil, I gotta say, it's just like when I turn on the TV, I never thought, hey, look at this non-white person hosting a zone. I'm just like PJ Fresh Phil, and I'm sure everyone agrees with me who's in this chat. Of like, this is probably the coolest guy I've ever seen in my life. No one else I know has long hair and plays guitar and likes Rage Against the Machine. And I'm a little kid. And this one time you dressed up like the Crow, and that's how I found out about the Crow. Probably a little young to find out about the Crow, but in general, like there's a reason. There's a reason why I went all the way to Fan Expo, primarily to meet you, Paul, and Tarzan Dan. It's because I'm just like, there's all these huge guests at Fan Expo, and I'm like, are you telling me I can meet PJ Fresh Phil? We're going. And you know, I like we all said, talent knows no color, knows no race, religion, all that kind of stuff. Talent's talent. And Phil, I know you're the most reluctant guy to ever give yourself a pat on the back, but honestly, everybody watching right now, dude, you are where it's at, and I'm glad that I had you to watch as a kid, because I think it literally made me grow up to take myself way less seriously. And on that note, Richard thinks, I think Phil and Snit need a half-hour weekly show on Yumi and YTV. Well, you know what, guys? You can broadcast anytime you want and say whatever you want on my network. I don't care.
All right.
Can we talk about, hey, Atul, remember when I visited you? He was living, can I tell you the story?
Sure.
He was living, and this isn't the vodka talking.
It might be.
Like at the top of Topanga, right? You were in Topanga Canyon.
Yes.
This is like the birthplace of like Fleetwood Mac and like all those hippies like that lived up there. And I remember you and your wife were living in a place that was rented by, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was a roadie for the Grateful Dead. Manager for the Grateful Dead. Whoa. So I show up and you're taking me for a tour around the property, and there's this huge aluminum shed. Yeah. And you tell me, check this out. And you open the door, and it's full of vintage Ferraris and Maseratis. And I was flipping out. And the other thing I remember was you were on the canyon, right? Yeah. Like, and you would look down on the canyon, and you showed me this round house. Oh, yeah. Like a clay round house. You remember that well. Yeah. That's where Lisa Bonet lives. Oh, yeah. I would run into her jogging or whatever, or like walking the dog. And then you said like you timed it so you'd walk the dog when she was around. Like, I'm just kidding. No, I didn't. I couldn't. She didn't walk. She was walking. She had wolves. She was walking actual wolves. So her dog could eat my German Shepherd, basically. Her wolf could eat my German Shepherd. How crazy. Like, it was just, there was nobody around. Like, this is like a canyon, like a mountain canyon. All you see is just brown and maybe little trails going in for a long time. And she was across, like, down the valley and up the next mountain. Yeah, right? Really across the street, pretty much. And I mean, I called it the Canyon of Canceled Shows because I had Dauber from Coach living next door, and then 2 doors down was Mary, one who played Mary Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie. And fuck, man, dude, you lived like what a great. Because I lived in LA after, right? For a long period of time. I remember visiting you there. We had some good times doing that. It was pretty fun. What? Anyway, yeah, but that was really cool. What happened when were you? Why did you visit LA? Like, it was in the 2000s, right? I was working for an animation company, and I was doing a lot of business with. They hired me an executive to use all my LA contacts to drum up business. So I was setting up all these co-productions with the studios in LA and with an Indian company. So. Finder's fee. Yeah, I just got a salary and I got to travel all over the place. It was great. It was just for 5 years. I traveled around the world all the time and did productions in Japan. And we had great lives. What happened to Ryan? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I'm here. Dude, when people are good, you just let them jam. And speaking of jamming, you both are very musically inclined. And little birdie told me, name Atul, said that maybe sometimes after the camera stopped rolling, you guys jammed a little bit. Tell us a little bit about those jams. Do you remember that?
Like
We
the
had
new
in
jams?
the zone, yeah. Remember, I had that sampling keyboard, and I actually and we just put an organ sound. Then you would play sometimes bass or guitar, and then we would have little jams. And there was actually a couple of times. I don't know if you remember this, and we got in trouble for it. Actually, we were jamming. We would turn the cameras on live, and we were still jamming, and then they would turn it off, and that's all we did. We're like those 30-second segments. And we got in trouble for that. They go, no more of that. You guys got to talk.
You gotta come up with something.
Brady, we all know Brady. Brady was the gentleman that I met with you guys, and he got me into that YTV dance after party at Fan Expo a few years ago. That was also like the launch of Luke Cage, and he got me on the guest list. Brady, thank you very much.
Cool.
Four years ago,
Brady.
I was poor as shit, so I appreciate
Brady.
it. But
I know
Brady,
Brady's my buddy.
yeah, Brady's awesome.
How you doing, Brady?
Everybody,
You know
Brady's.
Brady? Did you meet Brady at all?
No.
Oh, you got to meet
Well,
Brady.
was he in Ottawa? The Ottawa one?
No.
No, he's TL based.
Okay.
He's great dude, and everybody, if you want to look up his name, a child actor who's been on shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark, and check him out. Great dude. I just want to give a special shout out to my friend Jennifer, who says Phil is just awesome. I've always loved Phil. Well, you know what, Jennifer, I always loved you, even though I'm not Phil and my words mean nothing in comparison. I'm not as fresh as Phil is, but
Happy birthday, Jennifer.
well, here's a funny story. Phil and Atul need to come to Ottawa. You guys were in Ottawa.
We were in Ottawa.
Yeah.
That was good. And it's all
there.
You know, Phil, you
were signing autographs. I think I was giving mine away because no way.
You were signing your business cards.
What's that?
You were, but it was great because we just sat there and like caught up. Like,
yeah, it was just him and I hanging out in the end. We sat there laughing our asses off.
You know what it becomes?
Yeah.
It becomes like, what stories do you remember and what stories do I remember?
That's it.
And there's so much of it. Atul, seriously, like, do you ever watch this crap on YouTube and not remember that day? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I watch it, I'm like, I don't remember this. I don't remember doing this. But
some things I don't remember at all. Yeah, some things I do remember really clearly because they're big.
Well,
but some of our best segments were never ever shown. Like you won't find them on YouTube. Some of the best things we've done is like it's just gone. It's lost. It's you know, but you know, because it was just happening all the time, and there were certain moments that were just like, you know, I mean, in those 4 years,
put on tape when we went live. That was it. Like unless someone was taping at home,
that's it.
We weren't taping it.
I'm glad you brought that up. Big shout out to all the YouTubers out there and the people who taped these cassettes, went through the trouble of setting your VCRs, watching it in real time to get it, and then uploading in real time. That is not an easy feat. And until you have a YouTube page where you've uploaded some pure gold, and thank you, letting me use it. But other shows, and a big shout out to Retro Ontario and all the amazing stuff Retro Ontario that puts up, and their numbers are kicking ass. Like I've seen their stuff recently and the numbers they're getting, and I'm like, to me, all I've ever wanted is for everyone to just give you guys the credit you deserve, and I find Retro Ontario is at the forefront of doing that. They have amazing stuff, great quality, and so check it out. If you love YTV and all that stuff, YouTubers, check out Retro Ontario. They have awesome stuff.
That's my buddy Ed Conroy. I worked with him on this website. He is the son of the Junior J's dude, the guy that did Junior J's at YTV, which we did a lot of.
Okay.
Thanks for cutting me full screen on that one.
Oh, there you go. It's all good. I got to show that handsome face, Phil. The fact that you can't age is, you know, I look a little different from 1995, but I don't know. Atul, you were just to bring up, because I don't want us to forget this point, but you were a producer on Wolverine and the X-Men, and I thought that was what an amazing show.
I was very happy to be part of it. I developed the show with a group of people at Marvel, and you know, Craig, if you've heard of Craig Kyle, who wrote a lot of the Thor movies, and Greg Johnson, who's written a lot of amazing Disney stuff.
Answer it. That's right. Who
Break
is
the
it?
fourth wall.
Who is it?
It might be a pizza.
It's my sister-in-law. So I'm not gonna. No.
Your sister-in-law?
Yes. I've got a lot. Not that I wouldn't want to answer it, but
You're gonna hear about that on the next family dinner, bro.
don't worry, they won't be watching this.
Hey.
Oh, I want to give
Everyone's watching this.
I want to
I'm
give.
gonna step outside, guys. Keep going.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I want to give a special shout out to Richard over here, who's made a comment. Very, very handy. He asked many questions, and I might ask you guys one, but we've covered a lot of them. But he also provided me with. He helped me find some clips to make that intro really cool today. So thank you very much.
All right.
It's about everybody else too. It's like something that's amazing about this web series is friends of mine like Rocky Buckland and a few others. They've all stepped up and they've actually helped with the research. And when you're a team of one, it's very difficult and overwhelming to scatter through YouTube for the moments that you hear in an interview that it would be like, it would just be icing on the cake if I could find if I could find Phil asking about a tool's tire change. It would be amazing. Or asking for Snit's tire change and watching him have to come up with a backstory of his life on the spot when asking, what did you get your kids?
It was the mirror. Do you remember you laughed at me because I had that Toyota and the mirror broke off, so I put a completely wrong mirror on there and just screwed it into the thing. And then you thought it was the most stupid looking thing you'd ever seen. And then you talked about it on the air. He goes, Snit has a Toyota. He puts a Datsun mirror on it. And then I got all these letters saying, you drive? Snit can drive? He goes, yeah, he drives in from Hamilton. And Snit's from Hamilton? Like
Hamilton.
Yeah. So one person even wrote, he goes, I think Phil referred to you as being Indian. Is Snit Indian?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, they were right. I don't know. You must have said something. I don't remember that.
But it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny
I
how
wanted to, you know.
Oh yeah. Wait, and it was great because it was against my contract to even reveal, and you were always like right on the edge of revealing it. It was so funny, the crossover.
Phil is like a human Easter egg maker.
Really... I was never gonna let you go that way. Like, I'm from space.
I'm grateful for that, by the way. That was you freed me from all the having to. I think what we ended up doing was way the heck better. I mean, than any So
that's what made it special. Like, honestly, it was special.
Yeah,
it really was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
across Canada.
For sure. Well, we have people watching from east to west tonight, and it's quite amazing. Thank you everyone for watching. And Atul, I just got to say this. Thank you for your involvement in Wolverine and the X-Men. Marvel's Merry Mutants are vital for the less Avenger-centric but still fun MCU for Phase 4. That's true. You know what? We're having this thing where under the Marvel umbrella for the very first time, there's going to be some casting of X-Men for the very first time because it's always been Fox. And now it's going to be, well, who for the creators of the MCU movies like Avengers and all this kind of stuff where everything is connected, even a fart you'll hear about in another movie. Who's going to play Wolverine now? Do you guys have any actors that you think should play Wolverine?
What?
Besides
What's
Phil? Besides Phil.
Wow.
Is that for him?
Now for both of you, I want to hear if
I haven't even.
Who's gonna play Wolverine?
Yeah, who do you think?
Look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Remember you wanted to be Robin, and I remember you practicing for your audition for Robin. This was your audition. Do you remember this? It was this. Please let me be Robin. Please. That was your audition.
Then they got that white kid.
They got Chris O'Donnell, who is way too old to be Robin, where it's just kind of like Boy Wonder. It's just like, dude, you're 30. You're not. It's no wonder you're a boy. You're fucking 30. I always thought that was funny because later, and you know what you're talking about, how you're like, oh, we can't cast this, can't cast that. In the mid-90s, we're like, we can't highlight child endangerment like that. But in Kick-Ass, Hit Girl is this tiny little girl with a sword who kicks ass and takes names. And in my mind, the entire time I was thinking, now that's a Robin I want to see. I want to see a really lethal little kid who is so good at what they do. Batman would take them out and, punch bad guys with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, that's what happened when Atul left, as you saw, right? Like Atul leaves, and then they gave me this teenager.
Which one was the teenager?
Darren Jones.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Darren.
He's a young guy.
Well, Darren was there when I was there too for a bit, and he was good. But yeah.
But
I had fun with Darren. Me and Darren got along. We used to go to LA together.
Oh,
like,
great.
We would on our first let's go there for a month. Darren would be there.
Oh,
Darren, I remember he came to hip hop class with me.
Okay.
Hip hop dance class.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I had no idea. I didn't know you guys hung out that much.
Oh, I mentioned that boy.
That's great.
My
Got
friend
him to buy bell bottoms. I was like, yeah, man, do it. Who cares? Wear bell bottoms. It's 1990, man. 1999, man.
99, yes.
Yeah.
My friend Kathy, Phil, she's asking, I need to know if that's one of the same rings Phil wore back in the day. Tell her about your rings. She loves your rings.
You know what it was? I was really into heavy metal, and I had long black hair, and then I needed someone to look like, so I chose the guy from the Cult, and that was it.
Okay.
He's in a Native American, but I do, this is like a Navajo ring. I love that stuff, and you know what? I still love it. I still love this stuff.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Red coral, turquoise, Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't see it, but you know where you see it? You see it in any Hollywood star in the 70s. They're rocking big, actually. And you were talking about Batman. When I interviewed Joel Schumacher,
Oh yeah,
for Batman, I was wearing all my Indian jewelry. And he's like, I love your bracelet.
Well, he loves your bracelet. That's
Why are you
good.
laughing?
Oh, God. I'm getting all.
He loves my jewelry.
He's running out of blood because check it out. Alan Gross says this is great, but has Atul stopped bleeding?
No, I have not. It's getting worse and worse. It's but I haven't passed out yet. I've got.
Who asked that?
What's that?
You know what? Whoever asked that, let me tell them. Look, Atul led a great life. So if this is how it's gonna be. Are you listening to the stories? Did you hear what we did for a living? We did nothing. I would never listen to a celebrity that's it's so hard.
I want to do like we did in the zone. Die on the air. That's what's happening now. I'm gonna die on the air just like we did.
Like Birdman. So
had a great life.
Watching. Olivia is saying, watching from New Brunswick, 33 years old now. You guys made my childhood. How does it feel to make all these childhoods? How many children have you made?
No comment.
Yeah.
There's so many questions there. Oh my God.
About that at all? Were you in 2020, people are gonna say that we
I you know what? I had no idea, and in all honesty, because I went away. I left Canada for 10 years, right? And when I came back, I'm just like, okay, now I find a job or do whatever this. And then I was meeting with some friends at the Wheat Chief, and they didn't show or whatever. And I'm sitting there, and I ended up meeting with a bunch of other people who I didn't know, younger people. They're all working at a paper company, just like The Office, and. So we started talking. One guy starts asking me, "What do you do? What do you do?" Go ahead. And I said, "Well, I don't know. You probably don't know." I said, "I used to do I was once on a show in Canada here called The Zone." He goes, "The Zone?" I go, "Yeah, you've heard it." I just didn't even think that anybody even I thought it was long gone. And they go, "You?" And when they found out I was it was like the place went crazy, right? And I was shocked. I didn't, it just suddenly it was just a job at the time. It was a job that we had a great time, but I had no idea that it had any impact on anybody.
Listen,
it had so much impact.
And this happened today, okay? A guy from Enbridge came to replace the gas meters at the house.
Yeah.
And he came and started working on the gas meters. I went outside, and as soon as he saw me, he said, he's a Filipino guy. BJ Bill? BJ Bill?
That's amazing, dude. Dude, you were an icon, dude.
You know?
Absolutely.
I grew up to you. I watched your show on TV.
You are allowed to make that accent. None of us, we can't, but you can. So go for it.
Well, before I even met you, Phil, when I saw you on the air, I thought I was like, it was amazing to see somebody who wasn't, your typical blonde, white, like Ryan, hosting a show.
I'm sorry, okay?
Yeah, this is a bad time for you to start a show, bro.
I didn't start a show. I started 6 years ago.
It's not your time.
It was just like, it was mind blowing to see him on the air. It was like, Filipinos and Indians didn't exist on TV.
No.
It didn't exist. How many Filipinos were on TV? Besides who's it?
I'm not Filipino. I'm mixed.
Oh,
no. But no one. You know what? In the '90s, no one ever admitted they were Filipino. I talked openly about it.
Yeah.
Good for you. Seriously, like I don't know. We have
Filipino celebrities who are like, I'm Spanish, Asian, white. That's Filipino. Once you start naming more than 3, it's Filipino.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that is that I worked in the Philippines for a while in animation, and I couldn't believe the concentration of talent in that one place in Manila. Like the best musicians I've ever seen, the best artists I've ever seen, voiceover artists. Like I can't believe it's just like, yeah, there's something in the genetics there, Phil, that make you very, very talented as you are.
We dance.
I remember being jealous when you wouldn't think about playing bass. You get a bass. I bring a bass in. You start playing it, and then within 2 days, you were like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it was like, how did you get that good that fast?
I said it is because I am Filipino.
Okay, guys. So
it's because.
but just a big shout out to the Philippines. If you want to see a great action movie, it's called Buy Bust. I believe it's still on Netflix, and it was the action. I believe the fight choreographer was my friend Sonny Sison, and he's been doing a lot to bring Hollywood's perspective to some of the Filipino action movies, and they've been doing some great stuff. So check out Buy Bust. It is insane. It's a bunch of cops that go into a slum to try to bust a drug lord. Things go south, and the drug lord says to everyone around them, kill these cops. So old people, young people, kids, everyone's got knives, and they just go after these people. It is insane. Buy Bust. I can't say enough good things about it. But have a strong stomach. Have a strong stomach.
How do you spell it?
Buy Bust. Buybust.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Philippines, they call that Wednesday.
Oh, Phil, Anatole, aka Snit, what was your favorite show while you were hosting?
Jeez, that's a tough one. There were a lot of good ones. Like Batman, we would watch. We would watch certain episodes when Bruce Lee was on Batman, right? Or
Atole's trying to make it sound like we watched it. We did not. Okay, you listen. All right.
Come on, we watched anime. We were aware of it.
All right. Once that camera turned off, we were out. Like, what were we doing? We were like, bye. It was like, I don't know if you know, but we weren't like, Darkwing Duck. Like, we were out. What would we do? I don't know. We go for a walk. I don't know what to tell you, man.
What about you, Atul? Because we were talking about how everyone's a geek, and you guys were really geeking out about Marvel in the mid-90s, and YTV had this plethora of amazing shows, including X-Men the Animated Series, which was also voiced by actors from Toronto. Gotta
I
note
love
that.
show. I really the early '90s. Yeah, that was a fantastic. The original X-Men I was blown because I didn't actually read the comics of X-Men, and then when I saw the animated series, it blew my mind. I thought, oh my god, this is for kids. It was just,
they still talk about that series. I don't know what. I think I was watching the Toys That Made Us and about the Power Rangers, and they were talking about your buddy Saban.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I
you
got a lot
talked
of
about
kids behind
that
Saban.
X-Men.
Yeah. Haim Saban.
Yeah. Explore on that. I'll be right back.
No, I don't think I want to talk to Haim Saban. He's too powerful.
Oh, very, 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 very powerful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Power Rangers. It's insane. Last week we talked to Ron Westerman. So everybody who's watching the show right now and you're like, what the hell is this show? I've never seen this live show before. Last week we had the Power Rangers composer. He composed like 5 different series of Power Rangers. And what's crazy is you're a music fan. I didn't realize until I did the math and listened to those themes, how much that tone and pace would influence my entire life when it comes to music. Like we all have that inner soundtrack, and my inner soundtrack is that go get it, go get it. So, what about you? Do you have like a favorite song?
From Power Rangers? Oh, I don't think. Well, I don't know. I guess the theme song. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to the song. I mean, I've watched some Power Rangers, but yeah, and I never actually worked for Power Rangers, but
Yeah,
yeah.
we
But
watched them.
at that age, if I worked for it, then I was all over it. If I wasn't, but I did. I don't. There's no song that the Power Rangers song itself was pretty cool, and also I love the Pokemon theme. The original Pokemon theme was awesome.
Me too, guys. Something amazing is happening. We have a special guest that is in the house, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, and I hope she's there. And if you're ready for this, are you ready for this? Not if you are.
Who's
Okay,
that?
you ready for this? You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, guys. Seriously, Jenny, you're good? If I push the button, you're okay?
Jenny Katie? Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever on You Mean YTV, PJ Katie in the house.
Oh
Oh my god! I can't believe it.
It's so amazing to see you guys.
Oh my! I'm just blown away. That is. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, please flip the fuck out because this has never happened before on You Mean YTV.
No.
Jenny Katie, amazing.
I'm blown away. Oh my goodness. Look at you. Oh jeez.
You know what though? Can I just say this right off the top because
Yeah.
I'm taking prednisone.
It's all good.
Steroid that makes your face. It makes you fat. So I'm actually not this. I'm a little fat, but not this fat. So it's still.
You look
worth it to
beautiful
see you
every
guys.
day of your life, okay?
You do. I still see the same Jenny Katie that I knew. That's who I see. That's who the genius of PJ Katie Farr.
I feel like I'm gonna cry.
I know. Those years, like you can't. After they're over, you look back, and you go, oh my god, all those people, they were like family, and we were like, oh my god,
We were totally family. You
totally.
You were the first person that the first person that I actually talked to when I came in and they had that awful cafeteria where they were still serving food. And
That's right.
you came right up to me and sat down with me and talked to me, and I was just like, thank you. And Atul, it was our first boat ride or something. It was like a boat ride, like a Christmas party boat ride or something.
Oh yeah, it was the booze cruise. Yeah, I remember that.
And,
oh my goodness.
You took me aside and just held my hand and made me not so scared. So you were both amazing.
You were an amazing presence. You were just so you were hilarious, and I know in the beginning you were really shy.
She still is. She still
Terrified.
is
I've
a
never
little
done
bit.
television. I was
I know how hard I tried to get Jenny Katie down to LA. I pushed so hard with those Fox executives. I tried so hard to get you down there.
Hey, you got some support here coming from Andrew.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. You're a lucky man, Andrew.
Was that my husband?
Yeah.
He's
He
cool,
better
man.
support me, goddammit.
Also a fine writer in his own right, as I understand.
Yeah.
He is. He's like a.
Andrew's a
big
cool dude, man.
YouTuber.
He's a cool dude.
It's
Yeah.
just it's amazing seeing all of you together.
Like right now, everything is like coming all like. There's all different colors coming up, honey.
It's all good. So everyone, this is
Oh,
absolutely
now I can see.
aw. Hey, check it out. Jennifer Arsenault says, "Holy shit, PJ Katie, you are stunning." I gotta agree.
Aw.
You wear glasses well.
Everybody had a crush on PJ Katie.
No kidding.
For sure.
Like at the
No,
office.
the entire country did. The entire country had a crush on you.
But PJ Katie was friends with my girlfriend,
Shut
at work,
up.
so that was doomed forever.
Do you guys have any you guys mentioned the cafeteria. Do you have any other funny stories of like the events that the YTV would throw that you all had to do, like the Yeah Awards or what's that one, Phil? What's the one where your band played?
Psychoblast.
Psychoblast.
Okay.
Just, you know what? I can't. Honestly, I put them all in the same thing, like Psychoblasts and Dark Nights. It was just like it was. Those were long days and a lot of
Damn,
work.
now I can
like,
see you all by yourself. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm fucking sorry. I'm swearing. I'm just
No,
trying
it's
to
all good.
We can swear on this show. We are allowed to swear now.
I'm just,
Oh,
I know,
for sure.
Not like
We've been liberated.
I'm just trying to turn the volume up. There, I can see you. Oh, I can
Yeah.
see you guys. Oh my god,
Oh my
Atul.
goodness.
You've been doing so well.
So you're in Winnipeg now, right? Where are you in Winnipeg, or where are you now? Like
Sudbury.
Sudbury. I'm so sorry.
Born
Yes.
and raised and came right back home, unfortunately. But
Oh.
how are you, Phil? You look amazing. You still look like the same. You still look the
Nope.
same. You don't age at all. That's
No kidding.
irritating.
Aside from the wrinkles, he is exactly the same.
Black don't crack.
Everybody, I want to give a special shout out to this gentleman. His birthday was 2 days ago, and his name's Ryan Lint, and he is one of those YouTubers that has helped kept a lot of programming alive. There's a show called Radioactive that my darling Melissa was one of the stars of, and thanks to him and the other YouTubers, I actually got to see her show because I didn't see it back in the day. So he says, glad to be here. I feel like having a nostalgia smorgasbord right now, and and happy belated birthday. That's true.
Yeah.
It was your birthday very recently, and we praised it on this
Mine?
page. Yes.
This is my birthday.
Yeah.
That's
So
very kind. Sorry, I'm still like getting. I don't Zoom.
Oh, it's all
Often.
good.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, it's like the Brady Bunch, except only 4 people. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
it's
happy birthday to him.
yeah, and happy birthday to you. It's birthdays. It's funny. Everybody's got them, and I'm sure everybody was always asking you to say happy birthday on the air. What's a really, if you can remember, what's a funny story where someone asked you to say happy birthday in a very strange way? Because some of those letters were very strange.
Is that when they asked you to take your clothes off, Phil? Was the time?
What kind of strange crap did they send you?
Oh, there were some really weird ones.
I got a letter from jail.
Tell about jail.
Oh my god!
It was a woman in Winnipeg from. I think I still have the letter somewhere.
You look so handsome.
Oh.
You don't look like you've changed at all. You look so good.
Oh,
so
thanks,
nice
Jenny
to see
Katie.
you.
You know what?
miss you.
I see you on Facebook all the. Like it's funny. Like I get a window in your life and all the cool toys your husband buys.
That's true.
Yeah, I
have a
know. We
DeLorean?
don't play with those anymore.
Like, does he still have a DeLorean? And he had a Bricklin and.
The DeLorean? No, he sold it, which is fine because I can barely fit. Like I can barely sit in a Muskoka chair at this point. I'm so fat. I'm like, doot, doot, doot. I have to
Listen,
like back
I'm
up.
old.
There's no way.
49?
No, I'm sorry. I don't accept the fat thing.
No, me neither.
Yeah,
Me neither.
Thank you.
The
It's like-
perfection
they're
I'm
like,
looking
"Oh, it's
at
gonna make
does
your
not
face
match the description.
round."
Just saying.
It's like,
I, on
and
the
when
other
they say
hand,
round, they mean perfectly round, like a pie, a fucking pie face. Sorry, swearing.
you look
Like a-
great.
Can I just say?
I remember
Whoa. Phil wants to say something.
Jenny Katie was a standout at YTV. It's
Yeah.
funny. You found your own thing, and I didn't even know what was going on in your world, but there was a lot of attention on Jenny Katie with the farm, and like it was amazing what you did over there to find your own thing, you know, there. And
I was so
it was huge
totally
on its own.
supported.
Like, it was
like
massive.
you, Atul, like everyone was so supportive. Everyone was so kind and giving, and it was just like everyone. I never felt like I was by myself. Sometimes I did if certain people were around, but mostly I just felt supported and loved and
well, you
inspired.
were certainly loved by everybody. I mean, and there was great thing about YTV. I know we talked about this, Ryan, that it was like all those TV shows you see, like WKRP or these kind of workplace shows. It was like that kind of magic in that place. It's like we didn't get jealous of each other. We rooted for each other. We were excited about everybody's success that was happening, and we all wanted to help each other as much as we could. It was, and when PJ Katie took off, it was what a happy time that was to see, her creativity, get out there. And we did 100 episodes of this. You started off with a little segment you did, and we were all like watching her doing this thing with the farm animals. We're like, our jaws dropping, like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you got your own show, and it was just what a story. And no one has forgotten that show. That is like one of the center things of that entire station, of that network of the 90s. It was like, you made such an impact. And I wish there was more of them on the air. I would really love to see it again. It was just so hilarious. I used to love sitting in the tapings and we'll just watch you do your thing. It was like watching a crazy person, a really beautiful crazy person go.
I remember thinking, people who smoke weed are gonna love this.
They did.
They did.
They all think I was stoned, though. Everybody thinks that I was wasted and stoned, and I was like, if I was even a little bit wasted or stoned, I couldn't have done it. Like it was too much work. Like I couldn't have done it. So I was.
People thought I was
sober,
too.
so.
I didn't touch it. Like I didn't start till I was 28. I touched nothing.
Everybody.
He did not smoke. He did not touch weed that entire time we were at YTV.
Or drink.
No.
He didn't drink that much.
No. Now I do.
I noticed.
I know. Sorry. Hello. This is not. Oh shit! What the fuck am I doing? Okay. This is. Oh God! Look at my chin. This is. What am I doing, honey? Why am I turning that off?
It's all good.
Coffee. Anyway.
I love actors. That's the thing. Katie was like, Jenny Katie was an actress. Like, we didn't have too many of those. Like Paul.
Well, I didn't know what I was
just
doing. I had no idea what I was doing, and I had like, shut up. Sorry, it's my dog.
It's like watching Faye Dunaway or like Meryl Streep at home, like the
puppy
craziness and the dog. And
remember when Jenny Katie did segments with Krista? You guys had a real dynamic going for a while. It was so funny.
She's still my best friend. Like,
that's so wonderful to hear that.
It was all like that. Like, I felt like everybody was like that. Like, I felt like we all just really. We respected each other and liked it. We hung out together not because we had to, but because we wanted to. Like it was like, let's go for a drink when we were finished work, and just we wanted to be together. And that, I don't know, I haven't really ever experienced that again.
Well, she's a beautiful person. I remember when I first met her, she was like, I think she was pretty young. I think, and we're when I first got there, and she was like. She was into things like the I Ching and all these kinds of, for someone in her early 20s, I was kind of surprised at how well read and how, kind of sophisticated she was.
Yeah.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
I was actually talking about Krista, but you too. You too, Jenny.
So it's kind of funny. Like my whole life, I was just kind of like, man, if you had that much fun, you must have been so drunk or so stoned. And it's just kind of like people forget when it's like to be a performer. Everyone thinks I'm high all the time because my eyes are very small. But I actually hate weed. I don't care if anyone smokes it. I don't like it.
I can't smoke. I smoke weed and I cry. Like I hate it. I wish I could do it because it's safer. It's like because apparently alcohol can ruin your liver if you're not careful.
Apparently.
So, but I quit smoking cigarettes and I can't smoke pot because I just get stressed out. Like it makes me anxious and uncomfortable and. And you were like this. I don't even Ryan. Like, who are you that you even got us together? That's so. Thank you so much.
A lot of begging, a lot of polite begging over years and years. But I promise it won't turn.
Or it would never have happened. It's never happened before.
I promise it won't turn into a Lifetime movie. I haven't lured all of you here for nefarious reasons. I just, especially in the strangest time that I have had in my life as with the rest of humanity, I think the joy the three of you are bringing to the audience right now is incredible. So thank you very much for all taking your time to do this for people, because frankly, like they can't just turn on.
I'm really selfish. I'm just happy that I go. Oh my God, I'm just so happy to see you guys.
I know. This is like, I gotta admit, I'm a little shell shocked by it all. I did not expect this at all. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna get, my brain is just flooding with memories now. It's like you know what? Like I remember us going to Yuck Yucks. I remember us we were hanging out. All of us were hanging out all the time.
We would go every day, Atul. We would go to that Peddler's Pub almost every day and sit in their patio and drink beer.
Oh, that was so great. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We had such great times. Oh my God.
We were young. We were making money.
That's it.
We're getting a check like every 2 weeks. And we didn't have to lift any boxes or do any of that stuff. You know?
No, that's right.
I can barely hear you, Phil.
Oh, really? Oops.
Yeah.
You can use your outside voice.
Is that? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Just this one time, though.
Yeah. It's
we were young, making money. It was fun, but that's what came through in the job. You know what I mean? Like, the more freedom they gave us, the more we found like PJ Katie's farm or whatever we were doing. You know what I mean? It really gave us the freedom to just do whatever we wanted.
Play.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things why you did is, and there's a lot of hilarious stories with Phil on this one, but do you remember when YTV paid for improv classes for 4 years?
I hated it.
Do you remember that?
I do. They were hilarious.
Katie could do it because she's an actress.
I
was just offended and angry
because you tried to trip everyone up. I literally got thrown out of class.
That teacher hated my guts.
He hated mine.
Do you remember that, Katie? Remember there was an improv?
He's like, open yourself up to it, and I was just like, nope. He's like, pretend you're a potato. I was like, no. He's like, just get into it. I'm like, no. I'm not gonna do that for you.
there was an improv where you had to stay a line, and the last word of the line
had to rhyme
it to someone, and then they had to start with a word that rhymed with the last word in your line.
Yes. Oh my God!
I think I said,
forgot about that.
I bought a car and it was orange.
You went right to orange right off the bat.
Yeah, like
and that was
everybody. I know
that was the final straw that kicked you out. Phil, get out.
Yeah, get out. Like,
I don't remember going back a second time though.
No, we did. It was right there on the beside the old fire hall. It was. I know. We started before you were before Jenny Katie before you were there. It was Jen Beach, Phil. Ashna, a few others, that we all, we all just did this every week.
What story? Was that the old fire hall at like Bloor and Bathurst or something?
where was that? It was Jarvis, near Jarvis and
Jarvis.
Adelaide, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty neat. And then they brought in it. Then we had it in our studio for a while. I think one of the guys from Whose Line Is It Anyway actually taught one class, which was cool.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the
Wow.
one that Phil and I rebelled against.
I hear
That's
you.
what- oh my goodness.
It's
Okay.
the only one that I went to. And I was just like, oh God, I'm so not doing this because it's a competition. I find like
Yeah.
improv at Second City is competitive. It's like who's gonna be
Oh,
funnier?
I don't
And
like
it's not
this.
about who's funnier. You don't listen
But
to
I always
each
felt
other,
like
then it
you're
doesn't
not
matter.
funnier than me. Like, what you're gonna tell me? I don't even find you funny. But I was young.
You were always good though. You guys.
I
were
gotta
always
I gotta
funny.
say-
You know what?
I gotta say, in improv, like they tell you commit, and I can't imagine Phil committing to any bit. Like somebody being like, "Hello, I'm in a store," and he'd probably be like, "That's nice."
Well, you know,
Because
it's
he
not a
can.
team sport.
Phil did some pretty hilarious stuff in improv class. Before he got kicked out, it was still some great. But he
Did
would.
I get kicked out? Did they tell me? No?
What's that?
Did I get kicked out? Did they kick me out?
Yeah, they did. In fact, orange was the that thing that you mentioned about the orange. That was it. I never saw you in class again. That was what, of all things to get kicked out for. Go, orange.
How did you get kicked out of improv?
Oh God. Perfect.
Yeah, you got kicked. They start off saying, "Remember, in improv, there is no right and wrong." Phil, out.
I just, you know what? I was like this, like,
Well, totally.
Here's
And
my
I think that's
birthday
why we were
cake.
all
And I'm like,
friends
there's
too,
no
because
cake.
we never
What are you
really
talking? It's not raining.
played into all of it.
That's true. Katie, we can't see you. Jenny
It's
/ Katie.
raining.
Sorry, I
No,
think
it's
it's down
not.
because I'm drinking vodka and soda out of a.
Oh man, I'm the only sober one in the room here.
Hey, I told you I don't smoke. I just look like this. No, I was drunk 3 hours ago when hanging with some people, but I'm fine now.
You know, I'd like some fun.
Oh my God! Is that where you live? That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Nice.
That's
Where?
I got it.
beautiful.
Oh, I better not
apartment.
ask for it. But oh, look at
Okay,
that.
just virtually like just put that down my throat. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah.
Oh,
I'll set it up for you.
you know,
I got
you know what drink I've been liking lately is the Moscow Mule. Have you tried those? Ginger beer, lime, vodka.
Mm.
I had
Oh.
a couple of. You can buy them as shots, right?
I think
Well,
so.
the store. We brought them up to camp. Yeah, and it's probably the worst thing I've ever.
Oh, yeah. Wait,
I like how I spent my entire life waiting for PJ Fresh Phil to tell me how to pour vodka. I always believed.
That's delicious. What am I tasting? That's a drop of hand sanitizer.
That's
well, now we
true.
have an excuse, really. Like you get pulled over, you're like, well, no, it's just my.
yeah, good.
What am I
You point out,
tasting?
I'm bleeding.
Oh.
You're right. I think before the thing, I chopped my finger off. So I'm just.
Okay, so we see blood and boobs on the
cut your
show so
finger?
far.
How did
Just
you cut your finger?
I did. I was on a tin can making burritos, which I haven't eaten yet.
yeah.
Aw.
You see, 30 years
Put
ago,
your
that
hand on
story.
it.
That would have been a segment in the zone. This would have been a whole segment in the zone. It's like Snit cut his finger off. And it's like,
No, this could be
Wait
a
a minute,
little,
you're fine.
this could be a. This is my husband being clever. He's trying to put my farm animals onto
oh,
me.
look at
Oh my God! It's the farm
look at
animals.
animals.
Close up. Close up. Let's see it. Let's see the close. Let's see the farm animals.
Okay, then you do it then.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
God.
there it is.
Do we have a?
Real ones. It's the real ones.
Oh my God! Look at my face. Holy shit!
Jenny,
look great.
you need to honestly do that again.
No, I had no idea it was gonna happen like this.
Like,
Oh,
I
it-
didn't know.
Oh, you know, like hey, look, on my Google Hangout thing, I have a picture of myself from 20 years ago, and people keep asking me, "Who is that guy?" That was me.
Aw.
I should
You look
explain to my
exactly the same.
well, thank you for saying that, but my students are like, "Who is that other guy?" And it's like I have to explain to them. It's like I didn't always look like this. I slowly morphed into the horrible things you say.
No way, you're a handsome dude too.
Oh, thank you.
You look
What is with this
amazing.
Canadian
You look exactly
self-deprivation?
the same.
That's what we do. Yeah, so we don't.
Okay,
You
well,
know,
look
we're not,
come and have a little sit on my chin, and we can all have a party then.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Stop it.
I know.
fine.
Stop it.
I'm gonna
I-
do the
I
rest
know
of the
it's
interview
almost
like this.
painful to
Okay,
even look at-
we're gonna even. Okay, this is how I'm gonna do the rest of the interview. You're just gonna see.
You gotta
up my
bring the
nose.
camera high, Jenny Katie. Look. Bring it high.
Look at is that your
Put your chin
apartment?
down. Chin
what was that?
down.
What was
Bring
that
it
trick,
high.
Phil? You were saying that when you pose for a photograph, it's what is that? Your mouth is partly open.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, you know who told me how to do this? Was Paris.
I can't even hear you, Phil. Are
Paris
you smoking? Are you
okay.
smoking?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, he's
Tell me you're
smoking.
not fucking smoking.
He is.
No.
Still with the
I'm not.
tobacco.
Smoking and drinking and
What do you want, man?
We've all gone to shit.
This is.
no way.
I miss Dean Martin, man, and that whole old Hollywood thing.
That's
I can't hear you. Can you hear him?
Yes,
you
we
guys
can.
Is it not working?
Okay.
You can't hear me, Jenny?
No, I
can't
can hear
hear
you.
you,
Just
like,
a little lower than the rest of us.
I don't know why that is.
There you go. So for
Is
the
that better?
oldies, can you please
Yeah, a little bit.
move it closer?
Better?
Thank
Better?
you. Yes.
This has gone off the rails in all the best ways. Jenny / Katie, well, thank you so much for coming on, because I know that
Jenny
you know, up until yesterday, I wanted to keep it a super secret from you guys. And right up there, she gives me the message saying, "Okay, can I come on?" And I'm just like, "Oh, this is about to get amazing." So instead of being like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the first YouTube Facebook debut of PJ Katie," I'm like, "Nah, man, we're gonna sneak it in there," because that's exactly what YTV would have did back in the day.
beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Talk about blowing my mind. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Jenny Katie, you need to do that again.
yeah. PJ Katie's
I
farm
love-
for
I love
sure.
seeing you
Right.
guys.
Like, no one owns the rights to that.
It's amazing to see you. Like you're not
amazing to
just
see you. It's
you're
like-
not just
it's
people
like
you
seeing
to work with. You're
family.
family.
This is family, and those were very intense
I
years.
think
And
I turned my volume all the way down. What the fuck, Andrew? Sorry. Honey,
Husband, fix
I
this,
don't know how to turn
husband.
the volume back up. I think I fucked it up. Well, I don't know how to turn the volume back up.
Andrew! Andrew! Fix
See,
this!
see?
This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
think I
everyone
have it,
watching
like,
right now,
up all the way, but it's
you're
not.
winning. We're all witnessing
I can't hear
history,
you. Maybe I need
because everything we liked about
earphones or something.
YTV back in the day was it being raw and real, and it does not get more raw and real than this.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I can
smoking
imagine
right
saying
now.
to Phil, "This is how the interview is going to go. I'm going to ask you this, this, and this," and I can just imagine him trying to derail that as much as possible. And that's just the way you roll, man.
that's what he does. That's why he gets the big bucks, to derail.
Yeah. Yeah, the big bucks. I think I looked at Jenny Katie, you're gonna find this hilarious. I did like PJ Phil net worth, like Phil Guerrero net worth.
Oh, that one.
It said I was worth 11 million. I was like, I am. I
Yeah.
don't remember where I put it. Where is it? I need it now.
Yeah,
11
because they don't
million.
know. They don't know we're Canadian. That's the thing. They don't know that Canadian celebrities don't get rich.
It's true.
But it's not about money.
Certainly
No.
No. Look at
No.
Ellen. She's being stripped down.
not. Hey, did we lose Jenny Katie? What happened? Where did she go?
I think she might come back. So until
Andrew!
But wasn't that amazing? I love that spontaneity, because all three of you mean so much to to me and everyone who's watching this, because you guys saw it as a job. It's a job. It's fun. And you come into work, you do your thing. And then for the rest of us who are just watching, all we see is the magic. Like we can't see the man behind the curtain. To us, what was on the screen was real. And it's really amazing to me for all these. There'll be no special features. You know what I mean? That tape of you operating Snit tool, that was the first special feature of the Zone I ever saw. And to hear all these stories and the way you interacted with each other, to hear you guys were a real family, this is what us as fans wanted to know. This is what us as fans wanted to hear. And this is what gives us the goosebumps and the feels, is because it's nice to know you weren't all full of shit. You know?
No, it was a real genuine, it was a time that you just can't do it again. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it happened once in, you know, in the mid to late 90s, and whatever that was, it never happened before, and it's never going to happen again. It was just this bit of magic that just occurred, and we were lucky to be part of it, but I think there was an audience out there. They're also a big part of it. You know, we talked to the audience like, you know, like anybody else. We weren't just we wasn't
friends.
Yeah,
we were fucking friends. Oh my god,
you're back.
So small, Phil.
Hey, Drew. I'm also here. Andrew.
Oh, see, I wish I had some.
It's not really though. I'm totally joking. That's not true. I don't know. I've never seen his penis. I was just
It's a great joke.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so concerning the three of you are together, what's a funny memory you could tell the fans about doing, let's say, the YTV Achievement Awards? I only heard about these a few months ago, so you guys must have done something for YTV Achievement Awards. Phil, you were on stage with Topanga from Boy Meets World. Like, yes, you did do this.
Yeah, you know what I remember? Do you guys remember this? Maybe not Atul. Poor Atul, you know, like when those happened, like you weren't a part, like they didn't bring Snit onto the achievement. Anyways.
Yeah.
But
can you come closer to your microphone? I can't hear anything you're saying.
You can't hear it? Can anyone else?
No, I can. Hear. There. Sorry.
Anyway.
Okay.
So Topanga, what's her name?
Oh God, Danielle Fisher.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, right.
She showed me this. She had this huge diamond ring, and she said, "This is my promise ring from Lance Bass from Insane." A promise to what? Now, to go shopping with you?
To go shopping, Lance Bass.
To go shopping? That's my story, because we all know how that turned out.
Do you remember when George Takei was on this? I don't know if I should talk about this or not. George Takei.
I know this story, and no.
Oh, okay, we won't do that one.
Well, you could if you want to.
Because I have to imitate Phil imitating George Takei.
You know what? I ran into him last time I was in LA. I was there with my fiance and
get closer to your mic or something. You were really fucking this up, Phil. I can't even hear you.
Oh my goodness! That's
oh my god! Your
like Snit.
These are fabulous.
All we need is some bubble gum around you, and you'd be Snit there.
But yeah, I ran into George.
Oh my god!
Okay. Yeah, right. Who cares? Who cares about George?
No, say it, Phil. Say it.
I ran into him in we were waiting for we were in a restaurant. I saw him walk by and I grabbed my fiance. I said, "Let's go." And then I approached him and his partner, Brad. Is it Brad? I can't remember. I think it's Brad.
Yeah, it's Brad.
But, yeah, it's Brad. And I'd since seen the documentary, and I approached George and I said, "Hi, George. I interviewed you at the East West Players Theater on Santa Monica Boulevard. You were promoting the play Taste for Kona Coffee." Like I had so many details, and he was like, but Brad was all over it. Like Brad's young, and he's like his handler in a sense. Like that's sort of the relationship. And Brad was just, and it was nice to just, because he remembered it, but he didn't remember this thing, And I don't remember most of the stuff that happened like I did, Anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, Phil, if you really want to tell your George Takei story, it's funny. It's just,
But yeah, I spent a day doing links with him for anti-gravity room. You spend a day with that guy and you can't help but he has this, he's always looking at his watch. So he's like,
Probably like an insecurity thing. It's something that he
well,
like
just
takes
like
comfort in.
how
Yeah.
much longer is it going
Oh,
to?
you know, it's probably not even that. I bet it's more like,
You
oh my
know.
God, was he that much of a cunt?
No,
Oh
he
my
wasn't.
God.
But he was just a strange dude. Like he was just. Did I tell? Like I don't know, Jenny, Katie, if you heard this story. He was like, "I'm gonna step out and make a phone call." And we were at a theater, right? And we're in the theater shooting. He goes to the lobby. He's gone for like 10 minutes. So we go out there and we say, "George, are you okay?" And you know what he says? He says, "I'm just trying to figure out where the receiver is on this phone." He points to this thing on the desk. It's an adding machine with like a roll of tape. And we said, "George, that's an adding machine." He says, "Right." You know, like just whoa, what?
I think that he's probably special. Well, he must be like he might. It might be dementia, not to like bring everybody down with it, but maybe he's just retarded.
Listen,
I
like
mean,
that's
like
like,
retarded. I just.
No,
That's
he
gonna
seems
happen
to
to
be
me.
right. He seems to be very on the ball. I mean, when you use his on talk shows and stuff, and I mean the guy. I saw him do 100 push-ups on Conan. I mean, he doesn't seem. He seems pretty there. Oh, did we lose Katie?
No, she's
Oh, there
got
we
her
go.
thumb on the lens.
No, it's
Yeah, it's all good.
You know, though, but like, these guys, like George Takei's must have done a million interviews and met a million people. He's not going to remember anything. And why would you?
Yeah. Well, sometimes, I mean, you meet so many people. Phil, I'm sure that you don't remember every single like loser like me who comes to Comic Cons
oh my
to
God.
to track you
Brian,
down.
this is so cool.
Listen,
for you to be able to do
Brian.
this.
I'm a big fan of yours, Brian.
Brian.
I like how
Brian.
my name is written here too. So at this point, it's in existence.
I once had Phil. I teach at Mohawk College, and I had Phil host a couple of years in a row our film festival, and and Phil came out, and his opening line was, he says, "College was the best year of my life." I love that.
Oh my God. It's so nice to see you, Atul. You've been like traveling all over and doing all these things and
No, I'm doing nothing.
Well, we're all doing a
I
little
gotta
nothing.
Commercial.
We're all doing a little nothing right now.
Can you believe that? I did a Hanes
What
commercial
people
last
I
year.
get in touch with very
What
consistently
is that?
was.
Is that your hand?
Yeah.
What's that?
Do you have a little dog, Phil?
I do. I have a little Chihuahua named Callie. She's.
Oh my God, it's your dog? I'm so disappointed
I have a
in
pup.
you. Can I see her?
I'll
She's
go grab her.
in the back.
I
Let
gotta
me
make
get
dinner
her.
soon, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, I do too. I actually lost a finger
Knock
over
on the
there.
door.
Okay. If you need to go handle your finger, dude, it's all good.
Okay. I'm not sure if this. I think I've lost probably 45% of my blood already. It's. I just wish.
Aw. What happened to you? I missed it. What happened
Oh,
to your finger?
Doritos, and you know when you open a can with those manual can openers, it didn't quite get. I'm trying to peel the thing off, and then the back of my finger just rubbed against the can, and all the skin, and it has
That
not.
hurts so much. That's
Oh, doggy.
You have a dog. I didn't know that.
My
Aw.
fiance had a dog.
That's not a dog. That's a sandwich.
Maybe in Korea.
He's
Listen, I get a pass.
What?
I'm old. All right.
What's his name or her name?
My dog's trying
This
to get
is
in.
Jemima.
Oh my God, Atul, are you gonna get your dog?
Jemima.
Ryan, do you have a dog?
Yeah, I do. I could go
Can you
get
get your
him
dog?
if you give me a sec. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring her back.
Yeah. Let me see. What's her name? Or is it a him or oh my
Jemima.
God.
Jemima.
And Jemima?
Jemima Puddle Duck
Oh, Jemima
from Beatrice Potter.
Puddle Duck. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yours looks like a little fox, Ryan.
Oh,
It's like a
gotta
little
get this on.
fox dog.
Yeah.
Aw,
Where'd everybody go?
they're getting
They're
their
like-
dogs.
They're like, hey, dude, get your dog. Houdini disappeared.
Oh my god.
Now this is
She's
Fox.
beautiful. Oh, I have a cat. Oh shit. Little bitch. What kind of dog is that, Ryan?
It's a half Pomeranian, half we're not sure because he's a rescue.
Good. Rescuing is oh shit. So important.
Hey Phil, this is Fox.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, she looks half Pomeranian.
He is, yeah.
Oh my god,
Okay.
did you even know
And he's
that?
and he's actually
No,
he's
I
actually
heard it,
too
but I just wanted
too
to
frustrated to
report.
stand. I don't want to hold him when he doesn't want me to.
No,
Yeah.
No, and of
Where's the
course
tool? Is he getting his
nobody
dog?
wants to be held down.
I think he's getting his finger in order.
Oh my god.
Poor guy. But seriously, like amazing
What
that
happened? Like he cut on a can?
He cut it on a can of beans.
Cans
He's
can be
making like
dangerous.
tostadas, or chicharrones, or maybe pico de gallo, pequeño variados, or perhaps he was making tostadas escasiones,
Mm.
or queso
It's all
es
very
al
dangerous.
bayo.
It's very dangerous cooking.
I like how just no one cares anymore. This is great.
I do
but-
have to make dinner soon, guys.
Yeah, no problem. But the show's been going great. You know what? I just wanted Tool to come back and we can wrap up. This is really great. This is
He fell down the stairs. He's 50, dude.
Don't
can't believe
say
that much.
that.
he's 30.
Did you call out to him?
He's 30, you say? He's 30. Well, I'm 70.
I'm
And
49.
as we wait for him to come back, Phil, I got to show you this clip. This is another clip I found of that magical one that reached the internet about 4 months ago, and it's just great. It's just you guys coming back and forth with this. By then, you had honed your craft, and this kind of like loose F with them style you guys had, I find comes full circle here. So check out this great clip.
All right, dear Phil and Snit, I've written to the Zone about 5 times. I think the Zone is cool, but there's one thing I don't like about it anymore.
Okay.
You, Snit, never read letters anymore. That's why I think Snit is dumb. I used to like listening to you, Snit, read letters from people all over Canada. Why don't you do that anymore, Snit? PJ Phil is cool. You believe that?
What? I pick letters.
I don't know why he's so mad at you and not me. I mean, hey, I'm the fall guy too. Don't blame it all on him. Let me take some of the rap, okay?
Oh, who picked that letter? Egghead.
So,
Hey, you made that up. It doesn't say
what?
that.
What? Right here.
Read. What does it really
Okay,
say?
what does it say right here? What does it say? Tell it,
says,
read it.
Phil, you've been awfully goofy lately. Please do something about it.
No, that's not what it says. Read right there. Read the top line for me.
Phil, wash that mascara off your face.
Oh yeah, that's what it says. Do you see this? Do you see that?
Wait, what?
What
You
mascara off the
finished
face?
it. I've written it down about 5 times.
Oh, now he can read it. It's like a big puzzle, isn't it? A big, easy puzzle.
Shut up.
Okay, seriously though. No, seriously, he's real. All right. So, Bubblegum Boy, where's your maker? Huh? The guy who wheeled you in here. I haven't seen him in a while.
Neither have I.
Oh, whoa.
I just that
What
clip.
a jerk.
Seen
It,
that one.
jerk.
Oh my goodness.
it only reached the internet like 4 months ago, and I'm just gotta say, I'm like, I never seen even like you throwing in the "shut up" as Snit. I'm just like, that's amazing.
So I have to like get like better sound. Oh my god, I'm so awful.
It's all good. Everybody's having a blast. Everybody's having an absolute
Even if we've
blast.
done your show, I'd like to sit and talk to you guys. How do we do that? How do we do like a
The Zoom
we don't
conference?
put it live on your show, but we could just sit and talk to each other, can we not?
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you can like call each other.
Wait,
On the
I got
the difference
Zoom. We
is
can do that.
Eh?
The three of you need to connect more often for sure.
Yeah.
And you don't need this pale bastard to do so. You guys are three
Oh my
amazing
God.
people that all
You know
should
what?
have some amazing
Don't do
conversations.
that because you're
You're awesome for
You
doing
are
it.
Don't do
good at
that.
what you do.
Big-
45
Yeah,
minutes of this
thank you.
interview is you guys ripping on yourselves. Like, I'm following suit.
You know what?
Okay,
This will never happen again.
I'll give you that.
The three of us. This is it. That's
It's
it.
over. Done.
We will never.
Heck you.
I remember the last time I saw Tool. It was on Ryan's show. He cut his finger, which ended up being the end.
Aw.
That was
I have
it for us.
Ryan,
So
you're amazing. Thank you.
Thank
Sorry,
you
I'm
for-
like
I love you
just like
guys.
apologizing
Thank
for
you
my
so much.
giant
I
face.
have to go.
thank you are
I
all
love you
amazing.
so much.
You are
I miss
Oh.
you. Phil, I love you.
It's an absolute treat.
PJ
been
Katie was
so-
the only true artist at YTV. Honestly.
Shut up.
Well, and a Tool.
Oh.
But there were really no artists. There was just like, it was just college dropouts. But Katie was like an actress. And you can see it. Like, you can see it. So thank
Well,
you
I
for
miss
that,
you
Katie.
guys.
Thank you for
I miss
bringing a bit
you.
of class.
It's true.
I miss
Well,
you
well,
guys.
Ryan, maybe you can organize this one more time, and we can have some more of this, huh? What do you think?
Yeah. Are you kidding? This all happened by a fluke. This is the most exciting day of this show's existence for sure. Because, well, first of all, I'm having a blast. This is great. I'm gonna get real with you guys. We are living in a weird fucking time. And these little moments between, for me and the audience, this is a real nice little pause button. We're not going to deny the world is the way it is, but all social media is kind of just a bunch of poison where everyone's just like, "Arr!" And this reminds me of back in the day. I'd get home from school, I'd put on the Zone and relax. And be taken away with stories, inspirational stories of people who turned into rangers and jumped into robots, and mutants who would fight robots, and Batmen who would occasionally fight robots. with colorful puppet sidekicks and some real cool people that could get kicked out of improv class. It's been a lovely, lovely day.
Well, I'd just like to say that I'll never get anything more out of this experience. So you won't see me again. But this was great. This will never happen again.
It's been a blast, man. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching.
Kill yourself, because if you're gonna do that, Robin Williams already did that. So don't.
Yeah,
No.
please don't.
No, this was great.
So I'll have to make your documentary like Phil's wish, and I don't want to do that, man. I'd love to make a documentary about the way you lived.
This was special.
Yeah,
This lady
was.
right here. Special.
this is special.
This
All
guy.
you are special. All you are
This
amazing.
guy.
Atul, I love you so much. You were just so kind. Both of you were just so kind to me when I started, and I was so scared, and you were both so kind to me.
When
And,
you went your own, what a difference from the beginning until when you got your oh my gosh, two different people like on the air. Anyway, you're always fun behind the scenes, but my goodness, you rose like no other PJ ever rose before. It was amazing.
Amazing.
You. It was
And
just,
we wanna
thank you for being so supportive. I won't forget like how kind that time on the boat, Atul, with what I forget, it was like a party or something. It was like a first like party when we all went to Center Island.
Cruise on the
Something
summer.
I didn't even, I've never really been on a boat like that ever in my whole life. And I was scared, and you just were so kind. You're just so kind to me. And
There, Katie.
My second day,
Well,
you came and you sat with me in the cafeteria, and it was just like, you were just so like casual and didn't make me feel weird or bad and you just made me feel better. So
Well, I didn't know I was doing all that, but I'm really happy that it helped you at that time. I remember seeing you, and I know you were scared, and you were. It was, and understandably so. I was scared when I started too. So but once you realize that this whole thing is that we're all just in it together, we're family, then boy, did things take off. It was, yeah. I mean, seeing you again is like it's like seeing a long lost sister. It's like, I mean, the one thing is that I mean, when I went to visit Phil in LA, it was highly emotional. It was highly emotional every time. It was,
it is.
and
We grew up together. We grew up together. We like lived through the most important growing times of our lives together, and you were very you were both so. And Ashna was so amazing, and Marty and like everybody was so kind.
I've
I was lucky
to work with here and there, work with all of them at different times. Whenever I get a chance, we all pull each other into each other's thing. I work with the Grog. I had Todd. I hired Todd in LA, of course, but then here I had Marty do voices on
Where's
this.
Todd?
Todd is
What's he doing now?
yeah, I don't know what he's actually working on, but he continued with puppetry. He's got this beautiful son, and he married this other puppeteer.
Are they Mormons?
What's that?
I didn't
hear about Mormons, but I didn't hear anything about that. But my agent did not know how to. A lot of.
Who else did he marry?
I know. Good for him.
Good, great for him. That's great. Well, on that emotional tip, I'm really gonna miss you guys.
All right, everybody.
All right.
This is it.
Where can people find you on the internet machine if they want to comment and follow you guys on social media?
Oh my god.
Well, you just
I don't
might
do that really.
Yeah, you could. Well, Atul Rao. I mean, there's only a few of us around, but one of them is a fugitive he's a killer, he's a murderer, but the other one is me. So, and there's a couple of doctors as well.
I'll miss them too.
It says you guys should all be at Comic-Con. I love you all. I love PJ Katie. I love the farm. Snit, I miss your purple gum look. And PJ Phil, I love you no matter what. Rock on, all you guys. I agree you guys should be at Comic-Cons, and I'm going to do my very darnest. I want to organize a special YTV reunion. We gotta get this done, son. We gotta get this
make
done.
it happen. Hey, Ryan's involved in Ottawa and Montreal, by the way.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Montreal is my favorite city.
It'll be basically watching a bunch of people from YTV crying for half an hour.
It'll pretty much be me wearing various wigs, because I'm selfish and I just want to keep asking you guys questions. So it's just gonna be me wearing fake mustaches.
That's okay. This is fun. This is the most fun I've had in a very long time.
Oh my God!
To see you guys, and
it's so amazing to see you. I can't tell you how my mind was blown just to be talking to you again. I'm just flooded with memories. I don't even know what to say. I'm just my brain is like, oh, I remember that. I remember this. I remember the Fuzzbob. There was, oh my goodness, there was the Fuzzbob premiere, and you had gone through some really hard time at that. It was about 96, 97, and we had a good talk, and you were like, and I don't know, you turned around, and it's just like, it felt like talking to my little sister. And I say that because I was older. I'm the oldest one in the room. I can say that. So I don't mean little, because I'm actually probably I'm not even the shortest in the room. That's unusual.
Why is the dog there?
No, dog is upstairs. She's with mommy. He's all happy to come home. So,
All right, everyone. So before we say anything we can't take back, let's everybody out there, thank you so much for following this channel. Seriously, like,
Are
share
people
this.
watching this right now?
Yes, of course.
How big is the audience, do you think?
Well, given we made history,
Today?
a lot of people are going to. I mean, we've had a steady flow of people, but thousands of people follow and watch this show. So thank you very much for coming on and entertaining everybody, because seriously, we need this. 110%.
Thank you, Ryan.
Well, thank you, Ryan. Thanks for organizing all this. Is fantastic. And I, by the way, love what you're doing with the show. I have been watching some of your live feeds, and they're just fantastic. They're fun.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that.
I know. You're really good at what you do, because it's hard to interview someone, especially, I don't know, I don't really give a shit about other people. So to be able to interview someone and be that sincere and kind, and like, you're good at what you do. You do a very good job.
Thank you very much.
Jenny, you're as hilarious as you were back then. Oh my God. You're really sweet, and then you say something like a sailor, and then I just love it. It's like, I don't give a shit about all these little things. It's so funny. I should go. I know that.
All right.
No, I love you guys.
Okay.
I'm using duct tape now. I'm fixing my finger with duct tape. That's how desperate I am.
Phil needs to make dinner. Atul needs to attend to a mortal wound. We got to stop
Jenny,
this.
Katie, your kid is like a teenager now, so you got your life back.
Oh, and your
Oh my
kid.
God, he's such a shithead.
Okay, live on the internet.
Okay,
Let's be
all right.
careful about what we say.
I
All
got
right.
you. Bye.
All right, everyone.
Love you guys. Bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
watching Yumi and YTV. Share it. Share it.
I'll miss you all.
Oh, God damn it.
I don't think
All right.
I turned it off. I don't even think I turned it off.
Andrew!
Okay. Hey, Phil. Thanks a lot for doing this. All right, everyone. So now it's just me. Yeah. So watch, share, do the show. Thank you, everyone. A little private say goodbye to the audience here. We have another episode coming next week. And I'm trying my darnest to remember this show, because a fan of the series, a fan of Yumi and YTV, reached out at yumiandYTV@gmail.com. And I actually got a fan letter. And I would read it to you right now if I could find my phone. Actually, yes, I will. I will. This is the first time ever you'll hear me read a letter, because it's the only time I've ever had a letter. So yeah, let's do this. Luckily, I'm not overwhelmed with said things, because it's the only one that exists. But Greg Schumacher, I believe I said that right, said, "Dear Yumi and YTV, I'll keep this short, but I just want to say that you are living what I wish I could have done. You are my favorite podcast on the internet." Well, thank you very much. I do this show for free, so I get paid in praise, and that is worth $1 million to me. Thank you very much. I'm sure that you get inundated with requests for guests, but here is mine. For me, I would absolutely love the show Putnam's Prairie Emporium, and I would love to see John Wilson, the puppeteer of Caldecott Sea Cat. And the best way to read, anyway, he helped me make a connection, and I'm very happy to say that next Wednesday, and we're just figuring out the time, I believe it'll be 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be interviewing the cat from this show is brand new to me, Putnam's Prairie Emporium. And I've heard from various fans of YTV who were following in the early 90s and late 80s that this show meant a lot to them. And I don't have the trailer right now, but if you see the intro to this show, you'll understand why this show was A, big deal, B, hilarious, and B, the fact that I have him out of every character on it is a big deal. So thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week. All right. Have a good week, everybody. Bye. I got to end this broadcast, huh? I'll miss you.